From box number 2, these parts are clearly marked rear. Lay out the pieces needed so you can clearly identify them when constructing. Two side corner bars. The side corner bars have a square cut at one end and at the other end is a mitre. The roof corner bars have the letter R on one end only and a mitre cut at both ends. The R stands for ridge and this section goes up towards the ridge. Rear end glazing bars times 2. Square cut at one end, mitre cut on the opposite end. Depending upon which greenhouse you have, some bars are square at both ends, but this will be illustrated in the plans. For this model, the high eave, it is square cut at one end. One horizontal angle bar. Two unhanded rear end diagonal angles and one rear end built-in base. Neoprene. Bag of fittings. 2 ridge gusset plates, 4 eave gusset plates, and for the moment just ignore the casement stays. Next, we need to bead the roof corner bars and the glazing bars. On the roof corner bars, there are 3 places the glazing beading can go. 2 of them are only used, which are the first and third positions. The middle position is only used when constructing a partition. This rule is the same for all corner bars. The arrow head of the glazing bead slides into the V grooves of the glazing bars. Using the long nose pliers, drag the neoprene to the end of the bar. Leave a couple of inches hanging over the end of the bar just in case it has been overstretched. With a pair of scissors or pliers, cut the ends of the neoprene off. Do the same for all corner bars and glazing bars. For all corner bars in the rear end, we need to insert a nut and bolt. To stop the bolt from falling, give the nut half a turn and then do the same at the opposite end, and then repeat for the remaining 3 corner bars. Lay out the pieces of the rear end on the ground as though you were standing inside the house. On the glazing bar, the mitre at the top needs to follow the angle of the roof corner bar. The bolt slot is on the inside of the corner bar and faces inwards during initial construction. All the bolt channels of the built-in base section and glazing bars should be facing skywards. Starting with the side corner bars, you will have a square cut at the bottom and the mitre cut will be at the top. There is a mitre at both ends of the roof corner bars. The glazing beading is on the outside and the R goes to the ridge with the holes facing skywards. Starting at the top of the apex, secure the ridge gusset plates by inserting a bolt through the plates and into the holes punched in the flange of the corner bar, fingertip tight. Now secure the eaves gusset plates the same way as the ridge plate, and do this for both eave corners, fingertip tight. pre-insert 2 bolts into the bolt channel at the top of the vertical glazing bar and secure the second bolt onto the roof corner bar by inserting the bolt through the punched holes in the flange. Repeat this process for the other glazing bar. You can now attach the horizontal brace to the top bolt of the gusset plate and to the pre-inserted bolts in the glazing bars you have already inserted, fingertip tight. Do the same for the other side. Insert a bolt into the bolt channel at the bottom of every glazing bar, locating it with the punched holes in the built-in base. Also, insert a bolt into the bottom of the corner bar through the hole and slide it up with the slot in the built-in base and secure with a bolt and tighten with a spanner. Do the same at the other side. Place the angle on top of the bolt and make sure the glazing bar is tight down to the floor of the base and tighten with a spanner. Do the same for the other angle. Tighten all nuts on the built-in base section . Now attach the opposite side of the angle fingertip tight. Do the same for the opposite side. The diagonals and the horizontal help to keep it square. Because everything is loose, it allows you to push and pull until the angle is tight. Support the bottom of the bolt and tighten the nut. It is important not to get a gap at the top of the gusset plate. Do the same at the 2 eaves. You can tighten all the other nuts and bolts which have previously been loose. The rear end is now complete.